Testing, testing. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Bad Fanfiction Night. I am your host, Raymond McNeil, the Celtic Phoenix, and joining me, as always, is Twilight Guardian. I'm currently invisible. Give me a moment to fix that.
Also, you didn't call her wonderful.
Hello.
There we go. Yes, the wonderful Twilight Guardian. Sorry, I'm juggling things. All right, we're back.
The wonderful, amazing, the great, the visible.
Oz the Great and wait, no, sorry, wrong person. Last time, God, I don't even remember what was happening last time. They were on the road doing something. That's right. Didn't Arik have to stop Dalen from murdering someone in cold blood?
Yes. No, that was time before that.
I feel like that's happened multiple times in the past.
I was gonna say that just describes half this book at this rate.
Yeah.
And each time Dylan self-pities himself.
What's with those birds?
Last time someone misspelled Dalen, it's Dylan.
What?
Who's attacking them?
Have you seen this man? Forewarning, I have still not recovered completely from my cough, so I may cough a couple of times throughout this. I know Twi still has some phlegm in her throat, and hopefully that won't be a problem for her.
Oh no, I'm perfectly fine. I just get a little bit phlegmy and then have to like clear it out. That's all. I'm perfectly healthy.
Are you on your good mic, or are you still out and about?
I'm still out and about. I told you that.
Right, I just wanted to make sure because you do sound a little. You're a little quiet. Didn't want to mess too much with your settings. All right. Well. Yeah, I genuinely, aside from that vague descriptor, I have no idea where the hell our characters are right now and what they're doing, because we don't have a clear goal other than to commit identity fraud.
Okay.
So, yeah, we're just going to dive into this 19-page chapter, which means that I will take 9.5 pages, or 9 and 7... I think 9.5 pages. All right, I'm doing my math right. 9.5, and Twi takes the other 9.5. Yeah, that makes sense. All right.
Out there.
So we're gonna dive right into this and just see where it takes us, so we can all refamiliarize ourselves. Chapter 15. With my most loyal men, I cut my way into the throne room, detaining all within. There I executed the queen with my own hands in front of her most loyal subjects and family, her daughter, the young princess, included. She was a girl of 9 years, screaming, "Traitor! Treason!" and that she would see me hung by my own entrails for murdering her mother. I was shocked that a child so young could speak of such violence, but then I realized that she wasn't a normal child. She was an aristocrat, bred to be cruel and selfish. That girl would live her entire life with the intent to see me dead, as with the families of all those I had already executed. I suddenly knew that if Hamharan was to have any peace going forward, all possible threats had to be dealt with. So I executed the girl just a few minutes after her mother, her screams of hatred and vengeance upon me echoing through the hall, right up until I separated her head from her small body. After that, I ordered the execution of every aristocratic family. Grandfather, grandmother, son, daughter, child, babe, former roommate twice removed, all killed at my command. And afterwards, we had a nice little barbecue to celebrate.
Yeah, I sent off them with the details for a grocery.
Can you believe these ungrateful children are so selfish as to be gravely upset that I murdered their loved ones in front of them? The gall of it.
The absolute gall, darling.
I cast Abstraction.
So why does everyone?
Thank you, Random Fandom.
Hello. I'm here.
So why does everyone?
Oh yeah, because Digital Circus new episode came out. That's why.
After once I was done, I knelt, expecting to cry at the horror I had just committed, but no tears came. I could feel nothing. Crawling in my crawl!
This cross they will not
Crawl! Okay. Master Archons, we're about to arrive in Terramain. Lyra sat up from the bench where she had slept. Cusack was already awake. What voice did I give him? Did I give him Drax? Was that it?
I thought it was more Crunk.
Good.
Crunk.
I don't remember.
I am hungry, he said.
Bitch voice.
Bring me food.
Yes, that one.
Yes, of course, the junior postman said. Hamran born, by the looks of him, and young, probably his first employment. Lyra and Cusack were in the main cargo hold of the National Post ship, where 2 flat benches had been fixed to the sides in case of the odd passenger. Sacks of letters and parcels lay all around them. It had been a very restless few hours. This is all we have, masters, the postman said once he had returned, and he handed Cusack an open can of beans with a fork.
What the fuck?
What? That's all you have on your fucking airship? What the hell?
Beans.
Beans! I'm not gonna lie, beans are a good meal, man. You're in a pinch, a can of beans will do you good. Izanagi, this feels like an even more extreme version of Romanov Overthrow. I don't think there's any equivocation.
Wouldn't be surprised.
He beat me to it.
Cusack took the can, his eyes staring up at the postman and his face blank. The postman handed Lyra the other can and fork and then returned to the helm. Cusack threw the fork aside and hesitantly scooped a small handful of beans into his mouth. Oh, this is bad. This is very, very bad. Yeah, you threw away a good fucking fork, asshole. Cusack said after struggling to swallow. It's just what is putting food in metal does. I will never do it. Tastes like rust. Lyra ate her beans. There's nothing wrong with them? Yes, you Hamrans think if the food does not kill you, it is good. There is more to food than this. Like taste. These beans have plenty of tastes. Nothing like some good rust. What the fuck kind of cans are you packing your fucking food in?
Is this an attack against the British?
Anyone else read, by the way, nothing like some good rust? What does good rust taste like? Like tinnitus?
It tastes like Coke.
I was gonna say, you know that metal taste that you get when you drink from certain drinking fountains and like, you know, when you were in grade school? That's some good rust. All right.
You just unlocked a core memory.
Is Call of Duty.
Anyway,
You're
guys,
welcome. Enjoy it.
How could you?
Cusack looked at Lyra in such astonishment that she burst out laughing. Why are you doing this? What is funny? Cusack said, bewildered. Your face, Cusack. And here I thought you didn't like using facial expressions, but right then you looked like I had just turned into a goat. Cusack, to be fair, it would be an improvement. Cusack suddenly looked deeply embarrassed, or embarrassed enough, for he tried to make his face impassive. I chose to show my face like this, to show how unclean it is that you eat rust. Cusack, I was joking. Then you lied? No, it's sarcasm. Sarcasm is not a joke. You must mean what you say. I do?
What?
Except when I don't. Cusack's blank expression cracked once more. This does not make sense! Oh. Lyra, look.
Heather does this whole sequence.
This man has the tisms. You can't explain sarcasm to him.
Also, bro,
We've tried, and Isa still hasn't gotten it.
Wow, okay, wow, you said it outside, but okay, fair enough. If I was going to say that...
I'm a sarcastic.
No,
Isa, we love you, but fuck you for getting me sick.
Yeah. Indeed. But
You're making it.
what we're
going to
say
worse.
actually is Shad clearly wants to write Drax.
Yes.
And, oh my god.
He doesn't know how.
Okay. Lyra shrugged. I'm a woman. We're allowed to not make any sense.
What?
God.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Look, in a more competently written female character, that could be a fine joke.
Really
It's
opening
not.
that can of beans.
She's a nothing
Okay.
character.
That's why I left.
So I'm just gonna find on
Teddy Bear Paladin. I have autism and I get sarcasm sometimes. Oh, really? Hmm.
I too.
Fuck you.
The first time we ever heard him swear. Wow.
Oh no, his wholesome demeanor has fallen away. Mask off! He's gone full pirate software on us.
The world.
No.
No. Wait, he works.
Anything but
He works
that.
at Blizzard.
Game phase.
No. No. Anything but that.
What? Exactly. This is enough. You hurt my head, strange woman. This is Shad's regular reaction to meeting a woman that challenges his worldviews.
This is Shad's reaction to anyone that challenges his worldview.
My unironic note in the book is Reddit comment.
That
checks out.
Lyra chuckled to herself one last time as she felt the ship descend. It would still take a little while to reach the city and Q to enter its airspace. Cusack got back to choking down his beans before throwing the can away in disgust once it was finished. He picked a handful of letters and cleaned his hand with them. Cusack, you don't clean your hands with letters. Light, what? That's what the fork was for. How do I clean my hands with a fork? All right, that one got a little smile out of me, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
No, you use the fork to eat your food, and then you wouldn't have to clean your hands in the first place. Lyra, maybe tell him that before he shoves his hand in a fucking can of beans.
Yeah,
Maybe she just wanted to. Maybe she thought it was funny.
I am not a barbarian. Cusack paused. Lyra guessed he had just remembered to not call her that. I am not War Maker. I do not use fork. Oh, yes, all of those war makers and their forks?
Hey man, once upon a time, jeans were barbarian clothing.
God, this man, he was here at the Utensil Wars. Frickin' hell. It's almost as if forks are one of the most common things that were ever developed in history.
We don't speak of the sport wars.
I was going to say, like, now that I think about it, no, forks are actually the most recent form of cutlery, I think, other than sporks.
What about the knife?
Yeah, the man isn't even sophisticated enough to use chopsticks.
Yep.
Wow.
How does using a fork make me a war maker, whatever that means? Simple. It can be used as a weapon. You do not bring weapons to eat. Eating is for peace. Only war makers eat with weapons. Oh, God! Wait until this man learns about unarmed martial arts. Holy shit! We will blow his fucking mind. He will never be able to eat a damn thing ever again.
Clearly, he's never.
Oh my God! This man must never learn what biting is.
He'll just shove his face into his food like a dog.
No, he can't.
Celtic,
because his
you show him a picture of like a
used,
and the guy's mind just blows up.
Show him a fucking picture of goddamned. Oh, why am I blanking on his name? Kronos eating. Is it eating Zeus or is it Zeus eating? Oh, why am I blanking on which? I thought it was Kronos eating his son.
His 5 Olympian children.
Saturn
He ate all of the children except for Zeus.
Right.
Yeah. Zeus only ate one of his lovers, and then Athena came from his head.
Yeah. Why do you have to phrase it like that? Anyway.
I mean, he's right.
Hey, don't boo me. I'm right. Why are you booing him? He's right.
Your hands can be used as weapons too. They're not meant to be weapons. You use hands to fight only when you have no weapons, and hands are not as good as weapons. Even fork better than bare hands, which is why for peace you must not fork. You must not fork? Cusack, fork isn't a verb.
Fork this.
Yes, it is. It is a verb. To fork one's food. You can fork it.
Fork it over.
It is a specific version of the act of stabbing something. What is verb? Oh my fucking god. Okay. Shad, is this man?
My dude.
Is this man a different culture, or is he just mentally deficient? Because you're writing a mentally deficient person here. You're not writing someone of a different culture. I'm pretty sure every culture has verbs.
Same thing.
Mentally deficient.
I can't think of a single language on the planet that doesn't have a verb of some sort. They all conjugate differently, but they all have verbs.
You'd have to literally invent a language that doesn't have verbs in order for that question.
You could not invent a language. It's simply how humans communicate. We have subject.
That's the whole problem.
We have subject, verb, object. We have that in that order in almost every language. This guy is minimally exceptional.
What about
differently able
language where words just meant different things?
It's just his culture. Don't worry.
Yeah, of course. It's got to. Yeah, Shad says it's his culture, so it's got to just be his culture, right?
I would be fascinated if we ever planned to visit that culture and see what it actually goddamn means.
Shad cannot write.
You put too much faith into Shad.
Izanagi, I hate to assume the worst of Shad, but why do I have a bad feeling he thinks non-Western cultures isn't as refined as Western cultures? Oh God,
that's a loaded question.
That's a loaded question.
I don't think it's good for this stream.
That is a very loaded question.
That is for the scholar.
No, because he's like the most entertaining character so far.
Yeah. Isa, that is for the scholars and the fools, and we're not here to be either.
That's a Jack stream question, and Jester's fiat, so it's the perfect fucking place for it.
Exactly.
We're here to be a little bit silly, not foolish.
Yes, we're just
truly.
Silly. We're a little silly here.
And if we're any more silly, Twilight will descend from the heavens and tell us to shut the fuck up.
Exactly. And I still have a little bit of adrenaline from that argument earlier, so I am extra spicy today.
Don't worry, Twilight. I recognize the pecking order.
What? There was an argument earlier today?
I told you about it, Raymond.
Oh, with the Ruby stand. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, the Ruby stand.
I thought it was between you and I Know Nothing, and I was like, what the fuck happened? All right.
Why would I get into an argument with Twi?
Okay, here's the thing. I Know Nothing. No one gets willingly into an argument with Twi if they know better. All right?
Yeah, okay, so I'm in this ritual circle. I am not entirely crazy. Do I look suicidal to you?
People can be foolish. I've walked into arguments with Twi. That happens all the time, by accident.
Well, that says far more about you than it does about me.
There's a reason you're in the ritual circle to begin with.
Yeah.
I'm aware.
I got into a fight with a Ruby stan. I made a joke. He got very offended. And then at every single opportunity that he could, he tried to make these little passive aggressive little quips at anything that I would say during the Ruby watch through, where the entire goal of it is to make fun of it and shit on it and critique it. And every time I spoke up, he had to make these little passive aggressive passes at me. So what did I do? I did not let them pass up. I went after him. And then, like what always seems to happen with guys who are like, oh, well, I just came here to spread some positivity. They're always the ones to get the nastiest first because they cannot handle anything.
Yep.
Moral of the story is don't dish out what you can't take.
Moral of the story, don't get in an argument with Twi. It's just a bad idea.
What about a debate?
Anyway.
That sounds like a challenge. What about just sharing something that you personally think?
What is verb?
At your own.
A word that means a type of action. Then I make it verb, and I will never fork. You sound ridiculous. No, you are ridiculous, and you can fork as much as you like. I knew it was coming to this, but it's a fucking it's a fuck joke. That's all this is. It's just a stupid fuck joke.
Yeah, it is.
It's the most annoying
And
kind.
Unlike, okay, so I'm just gonna say it. Anyone who wants mead, I have a bottle of mead that I can share around. Anyone want it?
Oh, please.
Nameless.
I'll
Never
take it. I
forget
don't
Shad
drink
Blazes
what's
Ale.
there.
Make sure it doesn't exist.
I don't have the teleportation.
I want to see this
tech
mead for
that.
myself.
But I want to make a point here as well. I was just because I might be going to go see the new Naked Gun again with my dad tomorrow. We were both watching together. Just it's a nice little bonding thing. We just watched the original together before I came here. My God, the wordplay, the joke here would be 2 sentences, and it would be 30 times as funny as this goddamn bit that Shad did.
Well, it's also being given by Leslie Nelson. So
yeah, no. If I were to
can
read
we-
this,
I
it's like, do you fork, Lieutenant? No, thank you. I do. Last time I did, it was a little too expensive for my taste. Just like, and then they just roll on. Like that comment would go uncommented on. Also, Shin Godzilla's in
If I
theaters
may,
again? Damn, how did I miss
like,
that?
Not to defend this. Okay. Oh,
how could you?
Wait, what?
What?
okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sorry, man.
Yeah, the theaters again. I'm planning on seeing it.
As a,
Say your pitiful
Could you-
defense, and we'll
okay.
move on.
No, not to like not really in defense of this scene, but like I would say this is more in a sense ironically enjoyable than any moment back with fucking Dalen.
Oh, no, unironically, yeah, I typically like these. I like Cusack's better than everyone else. But like that's a very low bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It's
Cusack,
like-
he's the goat. So
It's like being handed
shut up.
like
Wait a minute, that
salted,
fork line
like
was in
a
the book.
salted flank steak that's been barely cooked after having just drunk fucking water the entire night. You have nothing else, and it's still bland.
Oh, that reminds me. The guy that
What?
Sorry.
Was that
in chat?
I was just gonna say that reminded me. I told you this before. The guy that I'm arguing with, he doesn't drink water.
Oh right, fucking hell.
What does he?
What?
Yeah, that was like one of the big arguments that we had was like the fact that he refused to drink water because it doesn't have flavor to it.
Did you
So he refuses to
What?
drink it.
He clearly has not had the
That's-
3 a.m. ice cold water.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Did you
And
eat
how does
that?
he?
Bro is made out of water. What is
What
he
is he
doing?
doing?
Yeah, no,
Like,
no. I get it. I get it. We're made out of water. It's cannibalism if you drink water.
Are you? Have you been speaking to Asmongold?
And that's just making me think. Can you drink
What?
Hydro Man? Would that be a viable
I
option?
should have called him Asmongold. I should have.
I love.
Yeah.
I don't have the gifs moving, so just the freeze frame we have of Asmongold is in the open mouth position. I have no idea what that gif is. I'm not going to click
Only in
on
the open
Discord
mouth
to
position.
animate it. I'm just gonna leave that there, and it's perfect.
It's amazing. I love it.
All right.
Well,
No, I found the guy drinking water.
The
how did we?
This is me in protest.
How did we get here?
I'm sorry.
God, he looks
I
so much like an
derailed
actual
the
rat. That's
stream.
impressive. Water, we ran out of water 6 months ago.
Look,
I forgot that joke.
I'm just gonna say it. Look, we haven't seen the Skaven in 40k in a while in the lore, so they had to set it up a bit.
Oh,
No one got that.
yeah, no, I kind of got it, but I haven't. I don't. It's
Don't worry
Warhammer.
about it. Move on.
Anyways, verbs.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. You sound. No, you are ridiculous, and you can fork as much as you like. Whatever, Lyra said, waving a hand. Cusack huffed and stood with his back to Lyra. He began to go through the ritualized series of movements he did at the beginning of every fall, the same time as Lyra usually went for her run. She sighed in annoyance, as a long run would have done her good. She felt restless and frustrated, though teasing Cusack had helped. Cusack was clearly practicing some kind of martial art, but it appeared far more formal than anything Hamhara.
Does it matter?
Ham sandwich.
Ham sandwich, yeah. The ship eventually docked, and Lyra bid the pilots goodbye. It was the break of high fall. Many people were just now arising, yet the city seemed to be in commotion. It didn't take long to find out why. Extra, extra! Dylus the Conqueror has been living and hiding for the last 20 years. Read all about it. I'm Scottish now. Lyra nearly fell over when hearing the call. By the Bright One, Cusack said, looking at the paperboy in astonishment. There was a crowd of people clamoring around, practically ripping the extras out of the boy's hands. With her free bond, Lyra channeled light into her voice and said, "Move." Oh God, her superpower's Karen voice. Nameless
Super
says,
Karen.
Funny thing, I can't stand flavored water. If I wanted water, I'd drink regular water. If I wanted to drink something with flavor, milkshakes. That's an extreme. Do you just fluctuate between water and milkshakes? Is that all you go between?
I would.
Guy clearly hasn't had any good old fashioned clear
to be
splash
honest.
at the Stop and Shop.
But
I
I have to direct everyone's attention to Snowy Biter with the tasted tinnitus.
It's tetanus.
Was that your gift? Was that your gift, Snowy?
Are you mispronouncing that on purpose?
Oh no.
Tinnitus is the ringing sound that happens in your ear when a grenade goes off. That's tinnitus.
I looked up that it was tetanus is when you get wounded.
You have no idea how easy it is for a dyslexic to see those words in his head and just decide, you know what, that one.
Well, yeah, that's why I was baffled. I was like, you're describing the frankly speaking, if tinnitus had a taste, I do imagine it would taste like rust. So it's like that's probably not that far off.
You know what rust tastes like?
Have you ever tasted blood, like getting your a cut in your mouth or something like that?
Taste your own blood when you have a nosebleed.
It tastes like that. You could just smell metal, and you know what rust will taste like, my friend. Like that's how that works.
And you
Your
know what's in
nose
your
is
blood
there
just-
for a reason. It's
There's a
90% of your
why
taste.
Your blood tastes
Why would
like
I
that.
partake in
It's
the
because
smelling of
it
metal?
has iron in it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I have rusty blood. It's just a thing. It's okay. Wait.
I've never been a child who doesn't know better than
Actually,
put coins.
You might need to get your blood changed then if
Can
there's
your
rust in it.
blood rust? Can, like the iron in your
yes,
blood
and
rust?
also
It's called aging, my friend.
It technically can, but I was making a joke. Then Twy was just like, "Yes, this is the taste of the blood of my enemies. This is how I should describe. This is my this is my enemy's blood shed for me."
I told you I'm spicy today.
It tastes like
Wait,
pennies.
actually, come think about it.
Why do you know what
how
pennies
your
taste
blood
like?
Dries? Is that your blood rust? Is when blood dries? Is that it rusting?
No, that's blood
Kind
drying. That's the water evaporating.
Are you? Is it the iron? in your
Because I
rust?
eat pennies.
It can dry, then it can rust.
I appreciate the honesty.
You know what, Paul?
I do, however,
Good on
recommend
you.
a
That's better than what I
freaking
got.
stomach
Good
pump.
for you, man.
I'll come out later.
All right. Bonding light to one's voice would not only increase the volume of what one was said, but also the supernatural effect to encourage obedience, agreement, and understanding depending on what one said. Okay?
Why did we need
My
to know
voice
that?
can make
right there?
everyone obey.
Because we're still building the fucking magic
Wait, isn't this just
persuasion
the
about
voice
it
from
for it.
Dune?
Don't insult Dune like that.
Added to
I
the
mean, that's
fact
what
that
it is.
Lyra
It's not good.
was an arch-knight, the people parted at once. Lyra marched upon the paperboy and extended her hand. The boy handed her an extra with a trembling hand. Oh, I apparently closed my activity ring somehow. Huh. I'm apparently my heart's beating enough to cause weight loss. Lyra marched upon the paperboy and extended her hand. The boy handed an extra with a trembling hand. Stop! Okay, similar rule to don't start your sentences with the same word over and over. Don't end your sentences with the same word over and over. It does stand out. You got to be careful with that. Apparently, the irony of blood is not enough
creates a
form
bad
capable
taste
of
of
rusting. She read, apparently, some farmer from a village named Caradale had found a note in the home of the local tinker, written by the same, confessing that he was actually Dalus the Conqueror, that he had escaped his supposed defeat 20 years ago, and had been living in secret up until the last few falls, where, upon his imminent death, he chose to cast himself from the edge of the world to die on his own terms. Adding to the validity of the claim was a book found at the scene, which contained an accounting of the Conqueror's life. A Lightbringer was also present during the discovery, who had both met the Tinkerer and seen the Conqueror when he ruled, confirming their resemblance in appearance and voice. On top of all of that, it appeared that Dalus had fathered a son in his old age, who was present when the Conqueror had cast himself from the continent, also named Dalen. He was supposedly the express image of his father. There were even 2 drawings. I'm sorry, my brain is catching up with what this implies about the plot. Sorry, there's like something in my throat I'm trying to get out. There were even 2 drawings which had been printed next to the article.
No.
One a representation of what the artist thought Dalus the Conqueror would look like in old age, scowling and malevolent, and another of a young man who simply looked like Dalus the Conqueror in his youth. The image nearly stopped Lyra's heart from the shock. The extra claimed that this was all discovered on the eve of the last low, only taking a fall for the information to reach this city and get out. Lyra's first slow... Okay, I do need to pause here. Dalen! This is what I've been fucking talking about! Why are you talking to anyone? Holy shit!
Because he's a more...
You are so bad at this!
Pretend to be mute.
You're so goddamn awful at this. And now your entire plan to forge your fucking birth certificate? It's blown up in your face. You can't do it now. Everyone knows what you look like. Everyone, you are front page news the world over. Like, that's what we've got. Am I wrong here? Am I analyzing this wrong? He is front page news the world over. Am I reading that wrong?
No, you're not.
Let's not forget, this is like the 7th time we've had this information repeated to us.
Also,
Yes,
by the way,
I mean,
with this,
not only is it redundant for us,
obviously,
but like at the very least, it's conveying to us that we now know that information about this has spread beyond him. That we actually have a goddamned reaction to his stupidity from the rest of the world.
Dalus the Conqueror isn't.
And the comments, by the way, of this particular thing, we can remove a pin, by the way.
Oh.
Yes,
Which pin was
that's why I keep saying these descriptions are horrible.
There's a lot of pins. You gotta be specific.
There's a lot. One of them in particular being, wow, talking to everybody about your identity, that totally won't come out back to bite you.
Yeah, man who's looking to fucking fabricate a new identity for himself.
Correct.
I just
he was
want
a man
to
that wanted to die.
Like,
Mixel, how many pins are there? There's currently, let me actually get my...
Dalen forgets to use his inside voice while thinking.
A good thing.
It's a drinking game for how often like information is repeated in this book. We'd all die of alcohol poisoning.
If I may just add real quick, like, I must point out, like, everything prior about, like, Dalus the Conqueror's, like, oh, he's a genius, architect, smith, strategist, yada yada. And then we see how he acts in the fucking story.
Exactly. All this goes completely contrary. And I'm baffled at all that there's genuine reaction from the world, because I was half convinced that Shad had completely forgotten how stupid he'd been. But watch this somehow get spun in his favor. Should I add a pin for that? I know nothing. Should we add a pin?
What even is the story?
Yes.
I feel like that's too obvious for a pin. Let's not waste a pin on something so obvious.
The Lord Celtic asked for it, and thus me, the simple Lord of Pins, shall place a pin on that.
Man, you're gonna inflate the economy here.
A lord,
man.
a lord follows a baron serves the realm, so, and thus the lord shall serve the baron.
What chapter are we on? We are on chapter 15. We are almost a third of the way through the book now. Like we're at literally 32%.
Jesus Christ.
How
do we get here?
Lyra's fist slowly scrunched the extra bit by bit. She clenched her teeth and took stock. She would control herself. She was an Archon. She was strong, but light wasn't hard. Because she was a woman, right, Shad? That's what you're going to say? Sorry, I'm getting too much into the brain of Shad. I'll need to take a shower after this. Anyone old enough to have lived during the Conqueror's reign, like Lyra, could name one of, if not several things he had done to ruin their lives. There was no one in the world Lyra despised more than the Great Bastard. All had cause to hate him, and now, knowing that he had been living in peace for 20 years was almost too much to bear. His note claimed that living with his guilt had tortured the bastard, but Lyra didn't believe that for a second, and neither did anyone reading this fucking book if they read his goddamned internal monologue. He had been a coward to the end.
Yeah.
Accurate. Yeah. If he had been truly sorry for what he had done, he would have turned himself over to the world's judgment. Yet, at the very end of his life, he couldn't even do that. And he had fathered another child? His son, this Dalen, could be for a great threat and needed to be questioned, but that was a matter for the authorities. Wait, aren't you the authorities?
Aren't you the authorities?
Wait a minute, I just realized something. Why did he name his fake son after himself? Wouldn't that be suspicious?
Thank you for catching up on something that we established like
his name
4 or 5 chapters ago.
Yeah.
If I might,
anyways, but on regards to the being the authorities, like, I mean, kind of, but also, like, I get the impression, like, they're kind of more like wandering knights than, like, enforcers of a particular area's law, I guess.
I guess. Sense? I don't know who would be in the jurisdiction of interviewing him. But then again, I also don't know what the fucking build of this world is, despite how much it's vomited on us about it.
This is also fair.
Yeah. Father to child, do. The questions. At least the world, and indeed Lyra herself, finally had confirmation that the Conqueror, the filthy perverted wretch, was now dead. Presumably taking his word for it. Guys, just because he wrote a letter saying he died doesn't mean he's dead. You got it. A third way into the book.
The Conqueror would never lie.
A third of the way into the book, still haven't seen what the dictator MC has come to. Guys,
yet. Congratulations.
Okay, I forgot to establish this. I and Twilight are the priority speakers. When we are speaking, we expect you guys to settle down. Okay, we like your comments and jibes and stuff, but we do got to keep on pace. Especially when I'm trying to read a super chat.
Next time you do it, you are being muted until the end of the stream.
I get the feeling that the person, has someone here not been in the stream before? No, okay, so there is no excuse then. Okay.
I haven't, but I've been mostly quiet.
A third of the way into the book, still haven't seen what Dictator MC has come to the Jesus moment, or why it happened. Yes. Sources do trust me. Yes, exactly. Conqueror would look like an old age, scowling and malevolent, and another young man who simply like Dallas the Conqueror in his youth. They just can't get my nose right. That's fucking great.
Yep.
All right. Where the hell was I? Keep losing myself. Of course, they had. They thought they had confirmation for the last 20 years, so could they be sure of anything? All the more reason why the son needed to be questioned, if only to confirm the truth. Lyra stood for a little while with a face frozen in disgust as she took long, controlled breaths to calm herself. Once she felt she was back in control, she tried to tell herself that it didn't concern her. She had a mission to focus on. Lyra threw the scrunched up extra aside and left. Cusack followed behind. And actually, that break is a pretty good spot to swap.
Okay. What was the last thing that you read?
There's literally a break in the chapter. You'll find it.
She pay for that newspaper?
No, remember, none of the Arch Knights have to pay for a damn thing. They just get handed everything.
Knight.
Ooh.
So going behind, that was the last thing?
Yes.
Yeah. Right? Yeah.
Cusack wanted to talk about the article. He was quite amazed by the revelation. Dallas had conquered Tures, as well as most of the world, so the news was as poignant to him as it was to anyone in Hamra. Lyra couldn't handle it, however, and answered abruptly to each of his comments. She focused on their mission, and, after locating the dock where the boy had arrived, she bound light to her sense of smell and eventually found his scent. She couldn't help but constantly picture an old man as she tracked him. This frustrated her, because subconsciously she expected this boy to be moving at the same trudging rate as one usually attributed to older people, which certainly wasn't the case.
So she has, like, her nose to the ground right now, like, just sniffing constantly. That's how I'm imagining this. Like
Yeah,
you know,
so-
Scooby-Doo sniffing on the ground, that sort of thing.
Like a dog.
Yeah.
No, it's literally that like one redhead from Madagascar 3.
Amon, is your mic okay?
It's been kind
So it
of
wasn't
fucked.
just me.
It's been kind of fucked. All right, down to
He's
50. How's it
abstracting.
now?
Anyways, it's just like it's distorted as fuck. That's why I'm wondering.
We're not gonna
Yeah.
we're not gonna troubleshoot
Yeah.
it for you, my guy. I'm sorry, we're in the middle of a live stream.
Yeah,
They
it's
tracked the
fair.
boy to a road out of the city heading south. Luckily, their quarry was on foot, which made the tracking much easier, and Cusack commandeered the fastest coach they could find, a sleek, sporty sky coach. The coachman was accommodating, of course, and clearly nervous to serve two Archons. They flew through one of the smaller openings in the shield net, one which sat near its base, made for coaches and the like, flying as fast as possible. Lyra ordered the coach to fly low and opened her side window to keep track of the scent. The sleek coach, almost like a racer in design, moved at incredible speed, which caused the wind to whistle outside. The sky coaches like this were built for the elite of society, and the interiors were furnished to suit. Such lavishness made Lyra's skin crawl for several reasons, one in particular threatening to bring on a panic attack. Cusack, on the other hand, was lounging amongst the cushioned seats and pillows, eating a small cake that he'd found along the way, looking completely at ease.
She's allergic to rich
Lyra had thrown the
Corinthian
cushions-
leather.
Everything reminds her of her past trauma. Literally.
Oh my god, everything reminds
How
me of her,
traumatized
but
is
for
this
her.
woman?
This is her version of that. Everything reminds me of it.
Everything reminds me of him.
Yeah.
He looks
That
into
dead fish over there? Reminds me
across.
again.
No, there's a mountain that's in a particular phallic shape.
Lyra had thrown the cushions away from her like they were infected, and now sat there gingerly, taking deep, even breaths. Ah, this is much better, Cusack said. A nice carriage, and this cake is not awful, but still not good. May the bright one be praised. Looking for anything to distract her from the decor, Lyra sought conversation, as precarious as that could be with her companion. Who is this bright one you keep referring to? I assume it's the light, but the way you speak of it, it's like you believe the light is a person.
Oh, fuck.
Not a person like us, but most certainly embodied. Now that comment did distract her. Wait, you think the light has a body?
Oh, fuck.
Yes. It is clear that the light has more substance to you. Are you okay?
I know. I can
The
tell where this is
embodiment of
fucking
light.
going. This is the fucking like Christian divide argument about the nature of the Trinity, like in Catholicism and that kind of stuff. It's like, oh, he's fully divine and he's fully human. Isn't that contradictory? It's like, look, it's a whole sticking point for different Christian sects, and it's just like, God, no, Shad, don't. You're not smart enough. I guarantee you are not fucking smart enough for this conversation. Oh my God.
So,
also, I had the thought, everything reminds me of him,
I'm
and it's
just
just,
gonna
it's a
say it.
basket with 2 round sticky breads and an oblong one.
Oh God.
I'm not smart for the conversation, and even I know when to drop it.
Yes, it is clear that the light has more substance than you Hammerans think. That's ridiculous. How can the light see all things if it was restricted to 2 eyes like us? Cusick laughed. It is what you Hammerans believe that is ridiculous, and we Terusians are not the only people who know the light has a body. The people of Frey believe that God has a body, though it is true we differ much after this belief. God? What does that mean? It is another name for the light.
Oh.
God. What an ugly word. It sounds like the name for a pimple. Like, bother. I got another God on my face. Cusick leaned forward angrily.
Isa, oh God, another religious dissertation. Why not the time? I could not agree more, Isa. I think I actually feel what Isa feels in this instant. That's terrifying. Oh.
Shad thinks a Reddit atheist talks.
How does it feel knowing that you have touched what Isa has lived?
Very well, like, okay, so you know the taste of tinnitus?
Touche.
Horrible day to have
you.
Touche, good sir. Touche. You win this round.
I'll get
You
next.
speak blasphemy, Lyra.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to pause
Sorry.
again. Who let
Light.
the monkey
I
in
didn't
here?
mean to.
Anyone else hear that fucking chimpanzee?
That's just how epic.
It's like the monkeys in order.
Yugok says, fun
Big
fact, the
master.
Holy Trinity
I
being
think that's
3 in 1
epic.
is not actually in the Bible. It's a later editorial thing, so funny to have here, and also God ramble. It's, you know, it's a whole part of biblical exdiegesis. Like, it's all bunch of, like, research documents and shit in terms of, like, biblical study. But no,
It's
yeah,
what happens when the religions go into the curtains are blue discussion. That's what this is.
Effectively,
Pretty much.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I miss when we could just write the Book of Enoch and make fanfics.
The curtains are actually a deep navy for the record.
That's it. Okay. No, Twy got that
I do not
reference, and I think that is enough.
Yes. Sorry, Light, I didn't mean to offend. Then do not speak like this again. Sure, fine. With that, the conversation was truly over. Looking out the window, Lyra tried to make note of everything they passed. They flew over the occasional person on the road and even a ground-based coach traveling the opposite direction. Lyra could have seen the people clearly if she had bonded light to her eyes, but it was unlikely that their quarry would still be on the road. Besides, tracking the scent was more important, and it was even stronger now, meaning that they were closing the distance.
Nameless says that reminded me of a seagull. The seagull! He's here!
The seagull.
My arch nemesis, the seagull! None of you are going to get that reference, and it doesn't matter.
Protect the fries.
Except for me.
Mine.
Boy.
Okay. Well, let's settle it down. We'll get back to reading. I don't mean to keep
I got it.
Nothing much can be said for the food of your country, but at least your people know how to be comfortable, Cusick said, his body spread over the cushions. Lyra threw a disapproved glare at Cusick, who took on a puzzled expression. Oh, light, Lyra thought, remembering that Cusick couldn't read subtle facial expressions, and probably thought the glare was some sign of sexual attraction. Or at least that's what he probably would have thought before they had their little chat. I can tell that you didn't understand what my look meant. That is because speaking through face is a sign of no control. Yes, so Teresians don't like to show facial expressions. No, this is not true. You have seen me speak with my face. Look. Cusick put on a very pronounced look of displeasure. We show faces that we want to show. Letting the face speak by itself is a sign of weakness. Feelings are to be controlled, so a strong mind only shows the things with his face that he wants to show. But you still can't understand subtle facial expressions. Yes, this is hard for me. If you do not tell me, I think the look you give me is to have sex. Why under the light do you think that? It's like everything you don't understand must be a sign of sexual attraction. Because I show my body, and my body is strong and beautiful. Most women who look at me, and the men who like men, is thinking of sex. Sex is the strongest of feelings and the hardest to master. Among my people, the feelings that the most people show but do not wish to show are the feelings about sex. Lyra nervously curled her fist as tight as Cusick spoke so unashamedly.
2 super chats. Ed Savinsky.
So the feelings that people...
and lawn chair. So how's the train wreck coming along? So far, we've had brief skirmishes into biblical dissertation. Our character is constantly being reminded of her violation. The main character's stupidity has finally come back to bite him, though we'll see if that actually manifests in any way meaningful. And Cusick is probably mentally deficient on several levels, and it's not just a cultural difference. And Yugok says, well, Dante's Divine Comedy is a fanfic, but the church ran on the whole Inferno idea. Yep. Oh my god.
They really like the circles.
Oh god, no way, no more.
So Snowy Spider, do you just wake up and realize, yeah, I'm a cook today?
No.
He's cooking beans.
Can't wait to see your gift.
I cook pretty badly. I'm not really good at that, but I usually like to make fun of books, and I'm really good at making fun of stuff. So
nice.
Then
and you're doing a great
this is
job.
not a
magician.
It's not a comment on any one thing, but stay in the kitchen.
So the feeling people shush your face. So the feelings that people show among your people, Cusick continued, I think must be about sex, because it is those feelings that are more shown among my people who have not mastered them. This is much more for men. You see, it is the most bad sign of weakness for a man's penis to become strong. Cusick, what? What did I say that makes you so? Cusick asked. Cusick asked with all the innocent naivete of a child. Stop. Just stop. You always act strange when I speak of this, which is strange, for you are very old and must have sex many times. It is just sex. No, Cusick, it's not. It's never just sex. I am confused. You must master these feelings, Lyra. These feelings to master. That stung more than Cusick could ever know. Lyra turned away and looked out the window and said no more. Thankfully, Cusick said nothing either, and they traveled in silence. Eventually, the scent that Lyra had been tracking suddenly peaked. Stop! Lyra ordered the driver. What is it? Cusick asked. The scent is very strong here. The sky coach circled landed on a clear field grass near some old brick shack. Once out of the coach, Lyra easily identified the source of the heightened scent. It was a hovel that she had seen as they circled. It sat on the side of the road with 10 civic guardsmen surrounding it. Several suited men stood in front of the house, conversing. What is this? Cusick asked. The constables saluted both of them as they approached. Lady Archon, a constable said. I didn't realize the Order would have an interest in this, but now I think of it.
Izanagi says...
An interest in what?
Oh, sorry.
Whose home this is?
I think we're desynced a little bit, if I'm being completely honest. I keep trying to, like cut you off at, like, a good time to do things, and, like, I feel like you're not hearing... I think we're just desynced. I don't know if that's a problem. I was gonna
Possibly.
Say, Izanagi says, for the love of Shad, your lopsided sexual politics are showing. No! It's his awful ability to write anything sexual, not... Like I'm getting what it's being laid down. It's not very subtle, Shad, that Lyra was probably the victim of a sexual assault of some sort in the past. Holy shit, are you handling this with the least amount of delicacy possible? It's so... Like, and I get that Cusick is supposed to be, like, abrupt and kind of crude and, like, not really pick up the signs. But surely Lyra could be like, okay, what does your culture say about unreciprocated desires of sexual action? Like, what do they think about the act of sexual assault? Yeah? All right. How do you treat it? It doesn't come up? Yeah. Stop fucking talking about sex, please. Just stop. I'm pretty sure that it would be pretty straightforward, because at this point, he's already pushing all of her buttons. She's already uncomfortable. I feel like with what we know about her personality, she would just outright tell him, hey, stop. Very uncomfortable subject.
It's also tricky because we have no idea how long they've been partners for. So, like, if they have just met, these conversations make more sense. But if they haven't and they've been working together for a while, why are we still going through this?
More than that, the supposed Great Order says, yeah, you guys can team up. This won't cause issues.
Yeah, a man who has
I might just add, like...
Oh, you go.
Well, and Cusick, learn to read...
Let Teddy go.
Cusick, learn to read the room.
No.
Like,
that's the whole point of Cusick. He can't.
It's not, like, Lyra...
Like, I understand what you're saying, Teddy.
At a certain point, though, like...
I get what you're saying, Teddy, but what Shad is flat out telling us is that Cusick is just physically unable to read the room. Like, he has a, okay, it might make it better if you just imagine that Cusick has a, like, railroad spike in his neocortex. Alright? Like, just deep in his neocortex, just a railroad spike sticking straight out of his head like a unicorn horn. All right? Like, we're saying that punished Snake would look at that man and go like, damn, man, get the thing surgically removed.
Well, and also a little bit of this is we see Lyra's narration. She clearly knows that he doesn't understand how to read the room. If someone really doesn't want to talk about something, they're going to say, let's stop, or they'll just stop talking at all and interacting. Like, it's frustrating because she keeps interacting.
We dog on Iza all the time. Cusick's brain. That's a great reference. We dog on Iza all the time. We love Iza, because here's the thing. Iza, when he can't read the room, we explain the situation to him, and he's like, oh, I see. I will stop talking about it then. And you know what he does? He stops talking about it very respectfully. He is a good person that will, when you explain things very plainly to him, respect your boundaries. It's not that hard.
We stand Iza in this house.
I thought you were going to call him a good boy for a second there.
He is a very good kid. I will give him the highest of compliments that I and my friend group can give. Iza is a good kid. He's a good kid.
He's a good man.
So,
in general, but like
this is just a situation of like so frustrating, because I know people even worse than Iza at reading the room, and they themselves are also very respectful when you explain things to them. This is a level of social inadequacy common in people with literal brain damage.
The best way to describe it is that this is quote unquote supposed to be two adults talking. This does not come off as two adults talking.
Correct.
Yeah.
Just
Sounds
because
like an
someone is of a
adult and a
different culture
child,
and
the
language
child
does
just
not mean
refuses to stop speaking.
they're somehow emotionally stunted. If I had a disagreement with someone in Japanese and we didn't quite have the same language, like we have language barriers, but if you were talking about a serious subject and I was maybe pressing the wrong button and they very calmly took their time to try and explain to me the problem, and I could pick up like, okay, I'll just not touch on that subject again. Like it's not that hard. It's so frustrating. And Isa says, I just realized the whole control emotions thing feels like an awful version of stoicism. Stop messing up philosophy. I don't know if I'd go that far. It just feels like he's trying to do Drax again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry about the
it's
tangent. I'm getting so irrationally angry. Well, I'm getting very rationally angry at. Oh my god, that's so Spider. Why does he look like Bobby Hill?
Fucking Bobby Hill.
What did Bob? Why are you dragging Bobby?
That's
into
what I was going.
this?
Can we make it a trend
Well,
to just
I mean,
consistently misspell?
If I can explain my madness, it's simply because of the fact
Please.
that Bobby Hill is a young kid, and that's how Cusack comes across.
Fair.
Oh.
Bro's a
God.
quadriceps. You need to put a CU
Well, I mean,
on the
in
tip.
this season, he's not really a kid anymore, so.
On the very left end of the S, you need to put a little CU, so his name is spelled out as well. But the sex is the most prominent thing.
It's a
Also,
tiny CU.
On a different topic, the religious tangent earlier in the chapter got me thinking. Does it mean anything that these members of the order are called archons, which in Gnosticism are subordinates of a fake god?
Oh,
Yeah,
fuck.
last time that there was religious.
I was gonna say archons are
wonderful.
reference to are angelic references. Like that's like another element of this. Like archons are a type of angel. They are the angels. Like they're like light orbs in like angelology or whatever you call it. So like I don't know.
Angelology.
Angelology.
Anyway, are we? ready
Yeah, I
to
think we're
continue?
good. I think I needed to rant just a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah. An interest in what? Whose home is this? You don't know? Would I be asking if I did, Constable? The constable was paling.
Yes.
Well, it turns out that this is the home of Dalus, the Conqueror, had been living in while in hiding. What? Yes, most unsettling. Lyra couldn't believe what she was hearing. Lord and Lady Archons, a portly man said respectfully, dressed in a tailed suit and top hat. A bejeweled cutlass hung at his side, and he was flanked by 3 similarly dressed men, as well as a commoner. I am the magistrate of Caradale, Laramont of the Devashion family, and with me is Councilman Curatale Devashion, Master of Tarim and Hanothor family, and Master of Paraden, one of the local farmers. We are honored by your presence.
Should we be taking notes?
Caradale.
Should we remember any of those?
No.
Are they important? No.
This will all be on the test.
Probably not.
No.
They're never important. They're almost never
Good to know.
important.
All right, just
This
wanted
is
to
about
know.
as important as Ariana's titles.
Read that the way they read the Dark Souls openings listing off the Lord's names.
Oh God, yeah, but that like treats things with respect.
Caradale, Lyra realized. That was the village mentioned in the extra. Magister, Lyra said, trying to regain her composure. You are certain of this? That this is the home of Dalus the Conqueror, spent his final 20 years in? Yes, Lady Archon, the Magister answered haltingly, before continuing with haste. Truly, none of us had any idea, and if we had, we would have taken appropriate action to bring the war criminal to the authorities. Your superiors will deal with that, Lyra replied with difficulty. I'm looking for someone. A young man, blue hair. He spent a good amount of time here and very recently. Yes, the sun. This is what Lyra had been dreading ever since realizing where they had come.
Gorgeous. I love how disgusting that looks.
Perfect.
Perfect.
It was
That's
perfect down to
amazing.
the last minute details.
Sorry. Continue.
This.
Okay, good. He spent the low here with the Lightbringer, the Magister said. Master Paradin here met the two, and was the one to find the note and journal. Describe the boy to me, Lyra demanded of the farmer. Of course, Lady Archon. Well, he was a surly lad with a chip on his shoulder, that's for sure. Actually, a lot like the old tinker, the farmer scowled. Dalus the Conqueror. He had blue hair, was fit, tall. Aside from age, he looked and sounded just like his father. Yeah, there's no question that he was the Tinker's son. And there's no doubt the Tinker was Dalus the Conqueror, what with the things we've dug up in his old house here. Makes my skin crawl knowing who lived here. What have you found? It was the Magister who replied. There was a journal containing the account of the Conqueror's life, as well as several personal items that have been identified as belonging to the Conqueror. We also found money. Lots of money. Has anyone else spent time here recently of a similar description? Young with blue hair? Apart from his own son, no. Not to my knowledge, at least. That settled it. The description combined with the scent trail meant that the young man they had hunted was the son of Dalus the Conqueror, and he was not an Arcanite. There was no way a boy who looked exactly like Dalus the Conqueror could have joined the Arcanites without anyone, especially herself, noticing. This also explained why the boy's scent was faintly familiar, and why he smelled like an old man, having lived with his aged father.
Nameless says, now
Lyra
Bobby
looked
Hill...
at Cusick,
Oh,
who
sorry.
had a knowing expression.
Yeah,
He put it together as well.
We're desynced. God, that's rough. Now, Bobby Hill is an adult chef who has some stuff Shad lacks. A life, respect, and talent in his field.
Yeah, we are synced. It's my fault.
I don't know. I just blame Discord. I'm washing everyone's hands of this. Yugok says, I mean, all exposition in this feels like notes. It does. All it feels like notes. I feel like it's a test coming up.
Feels like a lore item I picked up.
And that's what I hate about it.
No, the lore item description would be better written than this.
Oh, I'm getting flickers of that too, Twy.
Yeah, true that.
Will this be on the test? Actually, I'm going to try. I
Yep,
wonder
same
if
here.
I
My
can.
ping's bad too.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and get us. Override. U.S. West.
That's weird.
Let us try that.
Well, now it's green on my screen.
I was getting over 2,000 ping.
That's not a me
For
problem.
now. Hopefully it'll stay in the green, and it won't go into the red. We're almost done, though. Woo!
Yeah, I know.
Yay. My goodness.
He put it together as well, except he probably thought the boy had underwent his own vigil after dedicating his life to fighting evil. Lyra didn't know if that was truly necessary anymore. There was no way the child of the greatest tyrant in the world had ever seen would be that selfless enough to dedicate his life to such a cause. The boy might have been the boy might have even murdered someone. That beggar in the alleyway.
Wow.
There might be no moral requirement to become a Lightbringer, only the vigil. Now, if this was true, Lyra understood why the knights would lie to the world. Better evil men think that they're morally disqualified from getting the powers than simply not knowing the secret. If anyone could become a Lightbringer, what would people do to try and learn the secrets of the Vigil? And when and where would that world be? And then where would the world be? Lyra had to track down this boy and stop him as soon as possible. At the very least, he knew the secrets of the Vigil. And if that secret was revealed, the world would fall into chaos. Where is he now? Lyra demanded urgently. He caused a commotion in town before leaving. The captain tried to detain him, but the Lightbringer he was with wouldn't allow it. Where is he? He caught a coach, the Magister sputtered. Headed for Treramain. The coach, Lyra spat, turning to Cusick. Light, we passed the blackened thing on our way here.
Wow.
Wait.
Okay,
I was
wait.
thinking of asking if
How
that
powerful?
overhead.
You were sniffing the entire time. You had your sniffer going the whole time. How did you miss it?
I think she was
Sailing
asleep
was
whilst on the
distracted
sky
by
coach
the
zooming
nice
past
smell of
them.
sweetbread.
Did you
Well, you
smelled
see,
the
in order-
fucking hovel? Oh my god, you smelled the house from the fucking air, and you didn't smell a moving target.
Well, you see, in true hack
No.
writer fashion, our protagonist is portrayed as smart by making everyone else dumb.
Which is a great strategy. Makes me really engaged in the story.
No, our protagonist is not portrayed as smart. Our protagonist is still rock stupid. It's just everyone else is also rock stupid. This is quite literally, they are on a rock of stupid. Mug60S says,
And
are
that-
you
and
sure
at the
Shad
bottom of the
didn't have a
stars,
brain
bottom
rot
of the rock
before
is
the newest
Patrick.
generation? Because honestly, I think he does. I'm pretty sure he has a pretty hard brain rot going on right now. My God, this is such a bad.
Yes.
It's such a bad
The brain is
chapter.
completely rotten, and we're just looking at rot.
Yeah,
I mean,
increasingly
the guy looks at a Mario
You say-
trailer and just screams.
I mean, not that I
Where's
disagree, but you
X?
say that like there's been any good chapters so far.
No, but like
My
this,
chapter.
this one stands out because it's starting. Like we're finally
Fair
starting
enough.
to see the tip where all of the bad that's been piling up is starting to actually like weigh down the scales in terms of like showing his hand. I'm trying to think of the best way to analogize this, but like, okay, so the bad is starting to break the surface. That's what I should probably say. Like it's the iceberg piling up more and more, and now it's breaching the surface where it's like patently on display. We have our main character flat out basically losing his entire plan because he's stupid. It's like shot completely now. There is no plan. His plan is bound to fail now. On top of that, the person chasing him for murder fucking fails to smell him as he passes by, which is her fucking superpower at this point.
Yeah. It's like they all had brain surgery but didn't ask for a new brain.
No, it all goes back to, oh god, which member of the which member of
Hi, Shad.
the oh god, why am I blanking on the names of all the corporations in Armored Core? Aquaribus, right. Which member of the Aquaribus team?
Arquebus.
Oh yeah,
Arquebus.
Sorry, Arquebus. Which member of Arquebus was it that had the ice pick up the nose? Number 7, right? Who was number
Most of
that
them.
was V7.
What?
Yeah.
I pulled the image before. Hold on.
Yeah, who is V7? But like it's
Swinburne.
accurate. It's who?
Swinburne.
Swinburne. Okay.
Swinburne.
Yeah, but it is accurate. It's like all of them have had fucking lobotomies. Not a single person here actually functions. They're all awful at their jobs. None of them have like, oh god, none of them respond normally to anything. And the only one that actually has a genuine reaction to things is the one who seems to have the most mental damage. It's Cusack. Like, Cusack is the only one that actually seems to respond in any way resembling human, which ironically is because it says that he's different and he's not responding normally. Like, I cannot begin to tell you how much my brain is wrapped in a vice when the only character that is quote-unquote normal is the abnormal one.
Is this how Shad sees the world?
Yes!
Probably.
Absolutely.
We are diving into the mind of a weirdo.
I saw because he was defending himself.
Brainless person.
He was defending himself from someone else, but I remember he started an argument where he was like taking on a review of his book that said, "Oh, we never learn what the main character's motive was for changing to good." And Shad's like, "Well, every single chapter begins with a flashback," and I'm like, yeah, we're a third of the way through the book, and we have gotten jack shit to indicate why he was ever, even a villain in the first place. Like, it's taken us forever to get to anything reasonable. Oh, God, I'm so skewered. My brain is so forked over this.
It's not doing it fast enough.
Yes, Spider, that is exactly it.
Hold up. Spider, do I have tits?
Priorities.
You definitely do.
And that's why I apologize in advance.
Abby something.
Oh,
Abby
I see.
Damn.
I'll say it. I look good.
I know. I didn't know you had all that there, man. Damn.
Hey, man.
I was gonna say we've entered a new meta. We've entered a new meta. Why have the sexy librarian vibes when you can just have a sexy library?
I definitely read that.
I'm going to save this for the Master of Pins fan.
Genius. We live
some nice volumes. Alright. I think I'm gonna dip for the night. I've had enough of
we gotta
It's been fun talking with you all. Hated this book.
Oh.
Hated this chapter.
As you
Glad to be
should.
done with it.
All right, well let's wrap this up. God, such an awful. It's like this so bad, Shad.
This
even gets worse.
I thought it was, but this is still fine.
No, don't say it's still fine. Don't say that like we're still have yet to come.
You have so much more to come.
Oh,
bro.
we do.
You have so much more.
Oh no.
We still have 2/3 of the book left.
I know. I'm just like,
Yay.
all right. So the plot of the first third has been a complete fucking waste of time. All of this has been a waste of time. And so
just get the flip notes.
Congratulations, Shad. You have managed to waste my time for the first 30% of your book. Only 3 of it actually fucking mattered. What are you going to do with the other 2/3? Because now you have to start a new plot from scratch. I bless this chat with Safety Fox None. Thank you so much. I feel very blessed by this. Thank you.
Hold on, I got some cat none.
Amen.
But yeah, if Ed Simsky says, "Are we sure this world and characters are in isn't the next step to some giant chemical waste landfill affecting their brains?" Oh, that would be hilarious if just like a giant like toxic canister floating next to the islands. Anyway,
I forgot to mention. Not to mention, like, the giant amount of just, like, toxic waste and lead that's been leached into the groundwater.
Now releasing the
explain
deadly
some things.
neurotoxins. Anyway, let's wrap this up. Thank you all so much for joining us. I hope you all had a fun time. I did, even though I am suffering. Please remember to join us next week, yet again, for this misery. Oh. Wait, was this the description combined with the central element that the young man was was not an arch knight? There was no way the boy who looked exactly like Daedalus Conqueror would have joined the arch knight without anyone, especially herself, noticing. Also, explain yourself, weird. The boy sent was faintly familiar in why he smelled like an old man having lived with his aged father. No, I get the implication that she was she was unconsensual by Dalen specifically, and that's why it was familiar to her.
Why is she sniffing so many things? What's up with her? Why is she sniffing everything?
She is the sniffer.
They sniff
She will
stuff.
sniff.
Her name,
Is-
if we
is a
remember,
thing.
her name isn't officially changed to Sniffa. But yeah, that's all for it. Thank you all so much for watching. Join us next week. Please watch the new episode of Fixing Ruby, despite all the glitches that happened in it, rendering issues and all that. Yeah, join us for Jacked next week.
I wasn't imagining those.
Yeah. I could have gaslit you guys, but no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not Shad. Anyway, thank you all so much for joining us, and we'll catch you all on the flip side.